twisted because you look at Isaiah 48 and 1. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah. See, the waters represent what? The lineage, the sperm. Of Judah. Why? Because Mashiach Yahushua say, you see me, you seen the Father. He come out of the tribe of Judah. Hebrews 7:14, for it is evident that our Father, our power, Mashiach Yahushua sprang out of Judah, Jacob's fourth-born son. And Philip asked him in St. John 14:8, show us the Father, it suffices us, it satisfies us. He said, I've been so long with you, Philip, you have not known me. He that have seen me, have seen the Father. So like father, like son, we all come from the waters of Judah. So going back here, it says Ecclesiasticus 26 and 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. You gotta look at that and figure it out yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. An arrow is what? Straight. And her quiver is her sexual organ. The grace of a wife, the delight of her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. If her discretion is properly in the right aspect of the laws of the Most High, it's going to fatten his bones because she is virtuous. She's virtuous. She's going to make his life double. He's going to love her. Once again, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High. There is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Nothing more better than a mind well instructed. I mean, you're able to hear the instruction and take heed to it and be silent. If you, they tell you about a loud crying woman, that's sought out. They're gonna be sought out. I get it. It's gonna be sought out to run the enemy away. Verse 15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun when it arises in the high heavens, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. Don't give your strength to strangers. That when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession to all the field, to all the world, sow it with thine own seed. We're supposed to be going with our own tribes, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. Verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that feareth the Most High. A dishonest woman condemneth shame, contempteth shame. A dishonest woman going to contempt shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. So that's one way that you know a woman is honest, going into virtuous. She going to reverence her husband. That's what the law says. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. You know, and that's sad because we call the Gentiles dogs because of their profaneness and because of homosexuality. It says in the Unger's Bible Dictionary. It says a shameless woman, no humility, just loudmouthed and all that, shall be counted as a dog. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Most High. They're going to do what's right. And not act like they're a man in the midst of men. That's a shameless woman. Shall be counted as a dog. But she that is shamefaced with humility will fear the Most High. So that's showing you that the ones that's shameless, she will be counted as a dog. They don't fear the Most High. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted unrighteous of all. So that pride comes in when a woman dishonors her man. Pride comes in. Here we go, verse 27. A loud crying woman. She loud and she crying woman, and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. That big mouth woman, boy. So they're gonna be sought out to drive away the enemies. And that's kind of like when you look at what they did in, like I say, you read the scriptures forwards and backwards. That's what they did with Paul and them. They sought the big mouth women that try and run them away. Look at that in Acts, the 13th chapter, the 50th verse. Acts 13 and 50. But the Jews stirred up the devout and honorable women and the chief men of the city, and raised persecution against Paul and Barnabas, and expelled them out of their coasts. See? But they shook off the dust of their feet against them and came into Iconium. See? They sought out what? That loud crying women. Verse 27 of Ecclesiastes 26th chapter. A loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. And that's what they use. They went and got them women, them loud and big mouth women, to drive away the enemy. Because they were enemies. Paul and Barnabas were enemies to them because they want to still deal with, idolatry and so forth. And they didn't, appreciate that the Israelites that was coming in as Gentiles, the ones that knew, they didn't want them to come in. Now let's deal with these women with women. Romans 1 and 26. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use, which was a woman should be with a man, into that which is against nature. Just to show you that it's talking about that, it says, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, man supposed to be with a woman, burning their lust one toward another, men with men. See? That's why verse 26 is talking about women with women. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was right or meet. And that's wrong. Look, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, because the Most High said, hey, that's against his rules and regulations, that's against his laws, statutes, commandments. Even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, Most I gave them over to a reprobate mind, good for nothing mind, to do those things which are not convenient. A man with a man, a woman with a woman. That's not convenient in the eyes of the Most High. Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Most High. Supposed to have favor of the Most High. Proverbs 5:7. When you find a wife, you found a good thing. You're supposed to take time to nurture her. Proverbs 5:7. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. It's saying. Micah 7:5. You got to do what he say do. Not be rebellious as a lot of Israel's black Saul. Micah 7:5. Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a God. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. What he telling us? He's telling you men, you're supposed to be telling your woman everything. And women knowing this, you're not supposed to be asking for it. You're not supposed to be so nosy to want to know everything. So keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. That's what it's saying. So therefore, women shouldn't want to desire everything that a man is doing, and a man should not tell his woman everything. What you think else is saying? Keep the doors of thy mouth. What comes out of your mouth? Words. From her that lieth in thy bosom. Proverbs 11:27. Proverbs 11:27. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor. But he that seeketh mischief, it shall come upon unto him. You wanna look for something? Looking for something, you're gonna find it. You know, women be going all in the man's pockets, trying to check out whatever he's dealing with. Most already said, for a man to keep the doors of his mouth from her that lieth in his bosom, but you're gonna try and find everything out. You seeking, you looking for something. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come upon him. A lot of times you look at people, they find this, next thing you know, they hurt as ever when it was something that they might have thought was something that really in essence wasn't even as big as it was. They're gonna make something out of it. They should have been peeping in this stuff. You know, going through his pants, going through his phone and all that. You're gonna find something. You look for something, that's what he said, you're gonna find something. You're looking for something, you're gonna find it. So enjoying the day, when you have so much time that a lot of couples have to be together. Especially if both of them work, you have children, you don't have much time anyway. The little time you have, you come together, you're gonna cause strife. And it's terrible because, especially if you have children, it's gonna affect the children. Wisdom of Solomon 3:11. Whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Everything you do is vain, worthless. All your works is unprofitable. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. Most High laid it out for you. Said their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. Their offspring is cursed. Wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled. Blessed is the women that don't have any children. And you still following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Being undefiled. And blessed is, their offspring is cursed. Wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which has not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. You're going to have it. It's coming, because remember, it tells us we're going to have 1,000 children. So don't worry about it. See, that's a lot of people, they, like I said, we got next. They say, we got now. Okay, you got now, but you're not really able to do the things that we're going to be able to do when we rule forever and ever and ever. Most I will. We just, going over this lesson now. What do you have? This ain't our turn. This is Esau's turn. This ain't none of our turn. Gotta recognize 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. Let's see this. No, 1st Ezra, Salaki. 1st Ezra, the 4th chapter. And let's start at verse 13. I spoke about it. Let's read it. Let's let you know. 1st Ezra is 4 and 13. This is a story where I told you where well, let me show you the three men. They gave their analysis of what is the strongest, what's the greatest, and so forth. So when you read 1 Ezra 3 and 10, it says the first wrote, 1 Ezra 3 and 10, the first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is strongest. Remember, I spoke on this earlier. The third wrote, women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Now, let's go into it. Let's start at 1 Ezra 4 and 13. It says, then the third, who has spoken women and of the truth. This was, I can't see his name per se, I just see Babel, began to speak. My pocket was used, I can see his fall apart and all that. But it's a good soul. It says, which I'm saying y'all can read the whole story and see what they said, initially, but we're gonna look at it here as much as I can see myself. It says, let me see, I might have another pocket. I need another pocket. Yeah. That's my sword. I just happen to have another one handy that I can read what it actually says. This one, as you can see, it's done been, but still my old faithful. It's falling apart, but it's still, it's my baby. First Ezra's 4 and 13. It says, then the third, who has spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them? or have the lordship over them? Are they not women?